Sooner have seen their squad take to the court in Norman. Oklahoma is ready for a reintroduction to a team coming off its best year in over a decade. An ascending Oklahoma program against the Florida State Seminoles here in Norman. Welcome to the SEC-ACC Showdown at the Nets on SEC Network. 8 matches through last night, a number of thrilling results to open the competition. The ACC with the advantage through the first night of play, 5-3. And with that, we welcome you into the McCaslin Fieldhouse. It is great to be alongside Kelly Burke. I'm AJ Ricketts. Kelly, this is an Oklahoma program that feels like they're rising. With a new coaching staff, just 2+ years in, they made the NCAA tournament and won last year. Florida State's always in the NCAA tournament, 15 of the last 16 years. Fun matchup tonight.
Oklahoma looking to build off their first NCAA tournament win since 2013. Brought in some key transfers to make their offense more balanced. For tradition-rich Florida State, this is the youngest team head coach Chris Poole has ever had. 9 freshmen who are learning on the fly.
For Florida State, they do have a couple of veterans trying to lead the way. One of them, senior outside hitter Yanni Henke. She leads the team in kills, joined the program last year. They're really relying on her moving forward.
Henke is thriving this season, making the transition from the right side to the left side. Crafty hitter. She can score from anywhere on the court. And look for the Noles to activate her from the back row tonight quite a bit. For Oklahoma, outside hitter Imani Bush brings steadiness to the Sooners offense. She can score from either pin, makes great decisions and reads. For the Sooners to have success tonight, she has to be touching the ball a lot.
2 seniors, Bush from Canada, Henke from Germany, looking to make NCAA tournament runs to cap their collegiate careers. But Bush has been fabulous. One of really 4 legitimate options Oklahoma has on the outside. Kelly, for Henke, it feels like a bit more responsibilities on her shoulders, but she's handled it more than admirably this season.
A lot of that is because Henke has played at the international level, so she's used to playing against players that are much older than her. She's a complete 6 rotation outside and has been able to train at multiple positions.
It's a fun one. Oklahoma fans have been ready to see their squad. They've been on the road to start the season for their first 5 matches. Oklahoma enters 4-1, Florida State 3-1. Their only loss coming on the road at USF. Sooners led by head coach Aaron Mansfield, 3rd season. Guided the Sooners to their first NCAA tournament since 2019. And Kelly, as you said, their first win in 12 years as well. The other side for Florida State. In his 18th season, the winningest active Division I coach in the country, Chris Poole, has done such a marvelous job guiding the Seminoles. This is one of the youngest teams he's ever had, but you got the sense talking with him, he's having as much fun as he's ever had.
He's loving the challenge of trying to get these freshmen up to par here, especially as ACC play is fast approaching in a couple weeks.
What a fun way to start the season. All these young players, they haven't played at home yet. Really kind of thrown into the fire a little bit, but you feel it'll have some dividends down the road too.
You talk about having a difficult schedule when you have 9 freshmen and you're only home twice in Tully Gym before October 10th.
Welcome to college volleyball.
Right?
Plenty of new players, but Florida State has more than held their own to start the season, but no doubt tonight, their toughest test yet. It's the SEC-ACC Showdown at the Nets. Glad to have you with us on SEC Network. Kailani Filimawa, the junior outside hitter, will start things off for the Seminoles as Oklahoma finalizes who their starters will be out there. Good crowd has filed in. Filimawa gets us going. We're underway here at McCaslin Fieldhouse. Good service from the start. Oklahoma disjointed. The first point goes to the Noles.
Good start already for the Noles. The service line going to be a key factor in this game. The Seminoles' ability to get Oklahoma out of system and to ace them.
Now one of the top offensive contributors. And they go right back to Imani Bush, who's really done it all offensively for Oklahoma this year, but you'll often see try to get that attacker out of a rhythm early on service.
You're already seeing Florida State is targeting Imani Bush. That's 2 serves now that have been directed right to her.
Where does the 3rd go? Similar area, much better pass to start off. And Oklahoma gets the point as a result.
Oklahoma does such a great job activating their middles early and often. That's the difference in the Sooners offense this year, is the ability to be balanced across the net.
Kelly Jo Burgess has been active in that area this year, but 4 really capable outside hitters for Oklahoma. Florida State attacks from the middle. Delaney Ewing's first swing is handled. Oklahoma cross court, side out. Sooners even it up at 2.
It's going to be a critical factor in this match as well, the ability to win some of those tip shots, some of those scramble plays.
Fun serving matchup, too. We mentioned Henke, what she does offensively. She's top 25 in the country in service aces per set. Monty Bush has 11 this year. Her first is handled. Oklahoma's block showing up first time tonight.
Oklahoma's block, it's big, it's physical. That time it was only a double block, but look for the Sooners a lot of times in this match. They're going to send a triple block up against Henke.
Talk much more about that. Oklahoma, innovative of what they do with their middles and incorporating the triple block as well. Violation on the Noles. Another point here for Oklahoma, 4 consecutive.
And Nicholson was in the back row as a setter, so she can't cross the plane of the net, and that's exactly what happened. So point Oklahoma.
Bush continues run at service. Had a great debut week in her first couple of matches as a Nole. 37 kills across 3 matches. Tip shot from Alexis Shelton, who enters as Oklahoma's top attacking option from last year. Great dig by Mega. State back to the near side, into the corner. That's in. Well-placed shot for the Noles.
Henke is so crafty. She does such a nice job of disguising her swings and her shots. Looks like she's going to take a roll shot there and then just throw tips it down the line to the back corner.
Oklahoma will play fast. That's their style. Head coach Chris Poole for Florida State knows the task is tough. He said the challenge for us, can we defend against that quick attack? Either the block gets set well enough, can we dig around it? And our service is going to be huge tonight, too. Shelton didn't get the best set. That's off hands. Shelton, another swing, powerful, and another point.
Shelton is so explosive as a hitter, and that is a tough angle to hit. It's a sharp cross. Look at the way that she cuts this ball all the way over to zone 4.
ABCA Player of the Year watch list. 3rd-team All-American last season. Senior from Charlotte. Dump shot works to perfection there. Lily Nicholson, a junior setter who transferred in from TCU.
Florida State needs more of that. Lily Nicholson being offensive when she is in the front row and doing a nice job on that dump, completely fakes out this Oklahoma defense. It's going to take a little bit of that sneakiness tonight for the Seminoles to come away a winner.
Was 5th in the Big 12 in assist per set. 8th player in TCU history to record 1,000 assists when she did her sophomore year. Stevenson in as the setter now. What a swing from the middle. Kelly Jo Burgess getting involved again.
Burgess is just so consistent as a hitter, and Oklahoma runs their middles a little bit differently than you traditionally see. A little bit different routes and footwork, but a great connection that Burgess has already with her multiple setters.
Aaron Mansfield alluded to those things, subtle things with jump patterns, different things she's had to learn. She said she's on year 2 of it. Takes 6 months to a year to understand. She's in a rhythm now. Oklahoma trying to serve down the line. That's out of play. First service error today.
You're going to see Oklahoma be very aggressive, though, from the service line today.
Particularly with Takoa Barnes. We'll talk more about that throughout the broadcast. What a swing again. Alexis Shelton getting active early.
Shelton just plays so high above the block. Look at how high she gets. The big approach and the block nowhere to be found. You cannot give Alexis Shelton an open net.
Vicious velocity from the senior there. Way too much space to operate with. Off the tape, 7-6 though. Couple service there, the last few sequences for the Noles. It's just a 5th all-time meeting between Oklahoma and Florida State. Haven't met since 2015. FSU has won 3 of the 4 matches in their series history. Here's Kaylin Russ in service. Pass from Shelton. They'll set near side to the back. Takoa Barnes, the freshman from South Florida, on her first swing.
Barnes, just a freshman, but she hits a heavy ball. She has earned the starting spot on that right side. And Coach Aaron Mansfield already is loving what he's seeing out of his freshmen.
He's coming off her best performance in 5 matches. Had a great game against Cal Poly, 5 kills on just 15 attempts, and you see the service there as well.
There's that lethal jump, top spin serve, and what's crazy to me, Coach Mansfield telling us this morning, she didn't even have the serve before she came into Oklahoma.
Only started that a month ago.
Wild, because she's so consistent with it. He said, I just want her to do a high toss and let it rip.
Handled better by Philly Maua. Free ball, Oklahoma. Attack through the middle. Russ couldn't get hands to it in time. Here's another look at the ace from Barnes.
So the key on this jump top spin serve, it's all in the toss and the timing. Great hand contact and perfectly placing that behind the back row defense.
Coach Mansfield said, we don't care when she misses her serve. The only thing I tell her is to throw it high and rip it. If you're a freshman, that's music to your ears.
Because you know that you're not going to be pulled out if you make a mistake.
Philly Maua gets the kill from the near side. That's what every player would love to hear, let alone right when you get to college, right when you learn the jump serve. Shows the trust and autonomy he gives a lot of his players.
One thing to pay attention to in this first set is Oklahoma, who traditionally uses a triple block. They're not going to bring the triple block at first. They're going to feel out this match, and then you're going to see it come in a little bit later in the match.
Nicholson serve to Shelton. They go right to her into the nets. It's the attacking error by Shelton as Florida State pulls within 2.
A little bit of a rare mishit by Alexis Shelton. You're not going to see that very often.
And Florida State long on their service. Aaron Mansfield thought his Oklahoma squad made a nice adjustment defensively from week 1 to 2, but he said what stands out the most right now is how balanced they are offensively. It was a lot of Alexis Shelton last year. He feels the load is not as heavy on her now.
Shelton carried a very heavy load the last 2 seasons, and so it made this offense more one-dimensional. It's a much more dynamic offense now.
Barnes, Gibson helping with that. Oklahoma's block, getting it done. Burgess is there.
You could tell just a little bit of a misconnection. Peyton Whalen off on her timing, off a 1-foot slide play. It allowed that blocker to come over and put this ball down. Nice job by Imani Bush there.
Bush with the solo block. The only outside hitter that was brought from the portal. Philly Maua taps it. Confident swing from Camille Gibson, first kill of the evening for the sophomore who transferred in from Tennessee recently.
Gibson, you're going to see a lot of maturation in her game this year. She's making better decisions in the moment. She's not just getting out there and just trying to take big rip after big rip. 5
starts in her first campaign in Norman last season. Play a much bigger role here in 25. Whistle blows, that violation, and another OU point.
That's tough because not much Lily Nicholson could do there. She tried to go up and save that ball. Super tight first contact to the net.
Sooners hitting .583 to start the match. And a good rhythm early. Nicholson sets the far side. Philly Maua got it over. Florida State brings it within 5.
Philly Maua has that diversity to be able to hit on both pins. Really a complete player. A lot of that comes from her beach volleyball playing experience, to be able to hit a number of different shots.
She's done it all for Florida State in her career. Pulled into the libero spot at times as well. Back row attack. Dig by Russ. Henke. Nope. Oklahoma there.
Great recognition by that double block of Oklahoma. They were pressed over. They had those hands inward. And Oklahoma out to a 6-point lead here from Norman.
Start for the Sooners, up 15-9. Coming off a 2024 campaign where they picked up an NCAA tournament win for the first time in 12 years. Outperformed those preseason expectations. Had a fantastic year, too, under Aaron Mansfield, who has this thing rolling right now, trying to get the program to kind of where it was from 06 to 14 when they made the tournament every single year with just one exception.
But Coach Mansfield, it was a total rebuild. When he took over, there was only 7 players on this roster. He runs this sort of unconventional system offensively and defensively, so it took a little bit of time that first year.
It was not a quick turnaround, as that's off the hands of Bush and out of play for a Florida State point. I asked him, what was step one? How did you get this thing rolling from where it was? First, he talked about staff retention, bringing his staff from LMU with them. He couldn't have done it without those two. And then he said the success you saw last year was really the fruits of 2 years of labor. We beat Texas for the first time in 10 years, upset Tennessee at home. And then he said the turning point, though, was a loss, a 5-set loss at Kentucky. He said everybody in the locker room after the match, this is a nice swing from Gibson for the Oklahoma point. So everyone was genuinely looking around at each other like, we believe in this. We can compete with the best in the SEC and then continue to elevate from there.
The Sooners surprised a lot of people in the SEC last season. They were picked 11th, ended up finishing 6th, got their first tournament win since 2013. This program has come a long ways.
Down by 6, trying to work back into this first set, which Oklahoma has controlled. Good dig by Philly Mawa. Whistle blows it dead. This will be a point for Oklahoma. Double touch for the Noles.
Just some unforced errors by Florida State. Not shocking again because they have 9 freshmen, so still trying to get used to college volleyball, a lot of them. And you've got 3 freshmen that are playing pretty regularly.
5 attacking errors now for the Noles. Florida State getting up for another block. Excuse me, Oklahoma, 18-10.
Burgess and Shelton are just putting up a brick wall right now at the net. Not only do they time this block up perfectly, but look at how far over they are pressed across, completely closing down any seam on that block.
Florida State will take a timeout to chat about it. We were talking with Coach Poole about the youth on this team. Half the roster comprised of freshmen. He said, you know, for us as coaches, we don't know what we don't know, and they don't know what they don't know. he's talked about different points of the season. So we've had silly things like overlaps that shouldn't happen, players standing off the court when the ball is served and there's a free point. We look at them, they'll say the setter's front row, and they'll forget the setter's front row. There's those things like that, but he also said, I think we can become really good. I think we can get better. You can sense the belief he still has.
The measuring bar is high with this Florida State team. There's so much potential of what they could get to, but also right now there's a lot of teaching going on at practice, a lot more individual drills than Florida State and Coach Chris Poole and staff have had to go to in years past.
Asked him if this reminded him of his 2017 roster, and that's what, you know, he's had some young teams in the early 2000s as well, but he said 2017 was the closest. That was a rebuilding year. 2016, the year before, they lost a bunch of seniors. It was a heavy senior class. Kind of like similar numbers throughout. They were able to make their way to a regional semifinal. There's precedent for this, maybe not to the extent of what it is right now, but there's precedent for having a young team and succeeding in Tallahassee.
You also have to keep in mind, too, it's not just new freshmen. There are other newcomers. You have a new libero. You have 2 new setters on this Florida State team. So this team is very much a work in progress.
You know, they learned a lot in that loss at USF. There were plenty of positives to take from that. They were down 2-0. Showed some fights in Tampa. We're up 10-7 in the 5th set. Or a tough rotation, cost them a couple points. USF ended up winning in 5. Almost down by 8 right here. And now it's a 9-point lead for the Sooners.
Just a smart shot by Alexis Shelton. Going a little bit off speed there, completely fakes out that block of Florida State.
Sydney Thompson serving now. Oklahoma rolling at home in their season opener in Norman. Oh, just some discombobulation there, maybe a little bit of that confusion.
We haven't seen a lot of that so far from Oklahoma side, doing a lot of things right. Excuse me, Florida State side, I should say. These are some of the critical mistakes that you're going to see with this young Florida State top squad.
Negative hitting percentage right now for the Noles. Good decision there by Philly Mawa on a tricky serve to read. Deani Frega will enter the match for Oklahoma. A couple subs here for the Noles as well. Lexi Mason comes in along the front row. Nellie Stevenson in to serve.
And look for Lexi Mason. She's a lefty on that right side, so I would love to see Florida State setter gives a different look to this Oklahoma block.
True freshman for the Seminoles. Off hands. Free ball here. Ended up working pretty well for Florida State. Oklahoma Couldn't get to that. Frege made a diving attempt.
I've been really impressed with Kylene Fili-Mao's craftiness so far. Only 2 kills, just hasn't been able to be set a lot.
State will have to make some adjustments defensively. Though Oklahoma is hitting close to 600. How are they so in rhythm offensively out of the gates here?
Well, some of it is Florida State needs to serve tougher to get Oklahoma out of system, but the block has had a really tough time. We talked about how important it was going to be defending the Sooners' middles, and Florida State really hasn't been able to slow them down so far.
Not at all. Harper Hall gets set for her first service. 20 assists, 8 digs against Cal Poly last match. Sort of a little bit out, set a little bit out in front. Pia, diving dig, keeps it alive.
What an up.
3-ball Oklahoma. Hall sets the middle. Well done there as Kennedy Patterson first kill of the match.
It's that gap set that is giving Florida State a whole lot of problems with this Sooners offense. We've seen Burgess be successful at it, and then Kennedy Patterson, all kinds of open net for her to just tee off.
Statement first set here from the Sooners. Up 10. Stevenson. It's probably the best set the Seminoles have seen in a few points. They'll earn one back.
I love that decision there to go to the freshman, Nanook Kapia. She was able to punch that through that Oklahoma block, hadn't quite sealed the net in time.
True freshman out of Texas. 7 kills against South Carolina in a sweep. Frege had to extend. Barnes looking to get going. Fili-Mawa tips it over. That's off the antenna. 23-13 OU.
It's the attacking errors right now that are really hurting Florida State.
7 for the Noles, just 1 for Oklahoma, who's played as crisp a first set as you could ask for. Whitney Wallace now to serve. Sophomore from California. Defensive staple for the Sooners last season. Near side, Oklahoma block keeps things humming.
That right side block for Oklahoma has been shutting it down defensively. Fili-Mawa is getting nothing going on that left side, making it really tough on her.
Just like that, it's set point. Convincing. First set here, Norman, for Oklahoma out of the gates. Great first pass. Henke well off the line. Overpass gets the Noles one back, 24-14.
Good awareness for Fili-Mawa being up and ready on that overpass. Those are the type of plays that Florida State has to take advantage of to get back in this match.
Very sharp defensive set as well for the Sooners for as high as their offensive numbers are. Fili-Mawa finds open space as the Noles try to get some confidence here at the end of the first set, heading into set 2.
Good adjustment by Fili-Mawa there. She had been continually trying to hit into that double block of Oklahoma. That time going to a little bit more of an off-speed shot, cutting it a lot further.
Bright spot for the Noles in the first set. Fili-Mawa has 4 kills. High arcing sets did not go off hands. The Noles getting a couple points here.
Stringing together whatever momentum you can get if you're Florida State right now.
Kaylin Russ initiates. Seminole block is there. Oklahoma's is there too. Kennedy Patterson, who leads the team in blocks, finishes off the first set for OU.
Oklahoma defensively is rolling right now. 6.5 blocks in this first set. Sooners looking sharp both sides of the net. Offensively, humming along, hitting over 500, and it's been a balanced attack.
Oklahoma took off, outscoring Florida State 25-8 the rest of the way. 6.5 blocks for OU. despite not using that triple block yet.
Yeah, we haven't even seen the triple block yet, but to give you a little perspective, 3 blocks per set is a phenomenal number. They've doubled that up. 6.5 blocks is a huge number. Florida State is going to have to start doing a better job, first ball contact, serve, receive, so that they can be in system and try to run their middles to open things up for the looks on the pins.
For perspective on those 6.5 blocks, I mean, the Sooners entered averaging 2.5 blocks per set. Last year they averaged just under 3. That was first in the SEC last year. They're looking like that 2024 defensive unit.
Oklahoma's about to shoot way up in the stats rankings, the NCAA. They'll be in the top 25 in no time.
No doubt about that. Again, they entered today 61st in the country, 6th in the SEC, but you just got the feeling that those might be adjusted here pretty soon with a good performance or two.
I'd also like to see Florida State try and go to the back row attack a little bit more to give them another option.
Now it was the lone bright spots for the Noles in that first set. So it took a couple points towards the end of that. Work to be done, though. Oklahoma starts off strong, picking up where they left off.
That's what makes Oklahoma so tough to defend. That was a little bit of a misconnection there between Avea Mega, the freshman setter, and Burgess, but Burgess is still able to tip that over and perfectly place it.
Mansfield talks about those jump sequences and finding points even when the set isn't perfect. Example there. Tough first pass to handle. Look at that set. Henke out of play. No touch points, Sooners.
I'm okay with that miss, though, from Henke, trying to swing for the high hands of this Oklahoma block, who is so physical and gets so big.
Henke enters this match with 15+ kills in her last 3. Just 2 thus far. Target Henke here, taps it over, handled by Mega. Push, off hands. Florida State to the middle, and that paints the lines. Noles get on the board here in the second set.
Better start for Florida State. They've already tried to activate their middles 2 times to start the set. That's going to open things up for your pins.
Maua and Henke, the 2 prime attacking options here for Florida State. Combined 6 kills in a set plus of action thus far. Mega to Burgess, into the corner, 3-1.
Burgess is just so smooth. She's so consistent. You can run her really across the net. Great job, and she already has developed quite the connection with her freshman setter.
She is sharp out of the gates tonight. 4 kills on 4 attempts and 4 blocks as well. And drive serve. In the back row, and that's just a miss hit from Maua.
Maua got a little bit too much under that ball, but I like that the Seminoles are trying to go to the back row attack to give them another area of the court that this Oklahoma block has to defend.
Bush now on service. The middle, Oklahoma there. Not the best pass. Just at the net, Florida State controls. By 3 here, second set. Henke takes a roll shots. Good results, 4-2.
That roll shot will work against this Oklahoma block because you're going over it, you're finding the donut in the floor. Would love to see Henke continue to go deep into her toolbox of shots, go to some crafty looks like that.
Started her career at Cal State LA. Joined the Florida State program last year. Immediately into the rotation. Continues to take steps forward. Burgess trying to make it 5 for 5 there. Oklahoma, not the set they were looking for. That's Shelton can get up. That was too much.
Yeah, maybe not quite that high. And again, you're using a freshman setter, so you're still learning that chemistry and connection.
There is a limit to how high her vertical is. Gibson giving it a go. Break up. Burgess out of play. That was close.
A rare mistake from Kelly Jo Burgess, who has been phenomenal offensively and defensively so far. She's been one of those underrated pieces on this Oklahoma squad because Shelton gets so much attention and Imani Bush on the outside.
Aaron Mansfield said, I think the numbers speak for themselves for her. She's been extremely consistent since she got here. And Shelton back in the act to give Oklahoma the point advantage.
There's that fast offense on display. It's a flat set to the pin, and it allows Alexis Shelton to beat the block. Look at the giant hole in the seam of that block.
Shelton hitting 214. Block as well. Key high in the air to the back line. Will receive it back. Put it in a difficult place. Made something out of nothing there. Another kill for Henke.
Florida State out of system. Henke coming through.
He's been effective and efficient. Every match this season so far has had at least 261 in all four. Triple zeros right now, though. Burgess tapping it softly this time. Limala going back row. Barnes to the corner and in.
Takara Barnes just makes it look easy. She's so athletic. She's able to jump over 10 feet. She's another option in this very balanced Oklahoma offense.
Mansfield said she's an explosive jumper, has an elite arm, thinks she can make an immediate impact in the SEC, even as a freshman.
It's a very heavy ball.
Harper Hall's service is too strong. State looking a bit more formidable here, getting into a rhythm. Second set, 6-6.
Being able to convert on some out-of-system balls, too. So we've seen the middles get going a little bit more, going to the back row attack looks.
Some nice adjustments here in start of set two. Shelton. Knowles keeping it alive. Into the stands to conclude that sequence, 7-6 Sooners. Now Chris Poole said they're going to see some things today, Florida State, is that they haven't seen all year. We're going into this trying to be good on our side of the net. We've watched some video of that triple block. You know, it's just going to be a new experience regardless.
You just can't simulate that triple block. You don't see it very often. Maybe if you're Olivia Babcock, you do, the reigning player of the year.
Special circumstances there.
But Florida State also, the speed that this Oklahoma offense runs, because they just played South Florida, who runs a fast tempo offense, but this Oklahoma tempo is on a different level.
He said, OU head coach Aaron Mansfield said that there's not going to be a lot of teams that play faster than us. And that doesn't mean fast equals good. We're trying to do things a little outside of the box, a little unique. Speed of our offense, triple block, be innovative with what we do. Side outs, Oklahoma back on top, 8-7. Imani Bush with the kill.
Imani Bush is such a complete player. She's done a great job in the second set so far on serve receive, and then she just has such a deep toolbox of shots. She's constantly making the right decision as an attacker.
All Big Ten second team last year at Washington. The biggest pickup out of the portal for this Oklahoma side. It's difficult on serve receive. Free ball, OU. All goes to the far side.
Camille Gibson can jump out of the gym. Coach Aaron Mansfield said, she's one of the best athletes I've ever coached. Here she is on full display, one-on-one block, and just sends it down the line.
Now, her best performance of the season, had 12 kills against Cal Poly. That top spin jump serve, causing more issues for the Noles.
I'd like to get a radar gun on it.
We need it. Impressive serve on this OU roster. Here's Bush again, deja vu. The Washington transfer's getting it done here in the second set. OU has some distance here.
Florida State trying to make an adjustment with that block. Peyton Whalen and Delaney Ewing setting up to try and take away the line, but there's the high IQ of Imani Bush just swinging cross court.
Chris Poole sensing the momentum shift. It's a 3-0 run for the Sooners. Up 10-7 in set two. 25-16 to start. Kelly Jo Burgess been a big part of the success for OU offensively and defensively.
Kelly Jo Burgess, so consistent in the middle. She can hit those gap shots to perfection. Already 4 blocks in this one. She's making great decisions, and she's leading the Sooners defense at the net.
Enter this match hitting 424 as Barnes serve went into the strings. She'll come off. Burgess a 4.29 clip today, 4 kills on 7 attempts. She's making an impact immediately in her collegiate career when she was all Pac-12 freshman team at Utah. Significant contributor for OU. Overpass to the line, but too strong. Looks like an easy upcoming point for Florida State, who looks a little confused.
Those are the points of your Florida State. You have to win on an overpass. You have to be able to not get ahead of yourself and to put that ball down.
That was a vacant area of the court, unable to take advantage. 11-8 OU. Sooners still hitting 439 clip as a team. Yamamoto serve receive. Good dig by Shelton. To the back line. Amani Bush, another kill, starting to rack him up. That's her 4th in 5 attempts.
Amani Bush moving inside to hit that shot. Out of system ball. Understands where this double block is set up and then just swings through the seam of it.
9th attempt, excuse me. Still high hitting percentage in this match for Barnes. 4-point advantage OU. Cross court. Rolls it. And gets a positive result there. When those kind of sequences are going OU's way, you're getting the sense of tonight's match.
Bush is just doing a great job of mixing up her shot. She's constantly keeping this Florida State block guessing.
Mega initiates. Knowles set the middle, and it goes off of Burgess that time.
When Florida State has been in system and able to set their middles, this offense is performing at a much better clip.
You wanted to see them get the back row attack involved at the start of set 2 as well.
Yeah.
What are you seeing out of that?
We saw it attempted a couple times early, so I'd love Florida State to go back to that at some point. But set your middles if it's available.
Pushed over. Shelton showing she can score in different ways.
And speaking of back row attacks, it wasn't a big, it was just a tip from the back row. Improvising on the fly, but this is the athleticism of Alexis Shelton. Mid-air, going to the tip shot, had a one-on-one block.
You're Philly Mallow in the back middle. You're anticipating a powerful swing. Don't want to cheat up. Shelton sensing that. Keeping it alive. Leads to a free ball. Pushed back to the corner. Diving save. Shelton from a standstill position. No problem. Largest lead of the set for OU.
Oklahoma is just so tough at the pins right now. So many different options. All of them are efficient, and a great bump set from Diani Frega. Her setting ability has not been talked about enough in this match. She's a great out-of-system setter.
She transferred in from Fresno State. Mansfield said she was the best libero in the Mountain West Conference her first 2 years there. Now, a pretty valuable part of this OU roster, who's feeling good right now in Norman, up 6.
At Burger King, we don't listen to celebrities.
Would be a challenge won by Florida State.
A great point. Critical right now for the Noles. OU has scored 5 of the last 6 points.
After review, the ruling on the court stands due to inconclusive video. Florida State loses their challenge.
So basically, to overturn a call, you need irrefutable evidence. There was just not enough evidence and angles to make that determination.
Chris Poole looking on. In a hole right here on the road. Still yet to play in Tallahassee this season. Florida State to the far side. Good dig by Mega. Shelton at the nets. Tip handled by Henke. Attack from the middle. 15-10.
Florida State, that was one of their best offensive sequences we have seen in this match. Great first ball contact, and then eventually finishing things off in transition by activating their middles in Anub Kapia.
Kapia's been quiet this match. That was her 3rd kill.
And a lot of that has just been because Florida State has been so out of system.
Yeah. 6.5 blocks in that first set for OU. None since, and Florida State's defense rising at the net.
Good read by the Knowles block on that right side, teaming up Lexi Mason and Papia on this quick set, too. Great job closing that block in time against Alexis Shelton.
Mason, the solo block. That's the first block for Florida State today. Oklahoma right back to Alexis Shelton with the heavy swing. 16-11, and that block, that's been a talking point for the Noles early on in this young season. They didn't have a single block through 2 sets at USF and only ended up with 3 in 5 sets.
Blocking is the biggest adjustment you have to make as a freshman coming into college. It's bigger, it's more physical. You don't train a lot in that aspect of the game at the high school level, so it's a big adjustment doing the eye work, trying to make all the sequences of what it takes to be a good blocker.
Those are hanging around here in this second set. He's sinking serve, handled. Barnes, good swing. Defense there from Henke. Uemawa, softly. Shelton will take a rip into the corner, off hands for an Oklahoma points.
Shelton wants a touch, though. They are going to rule there was a touch.
Yeah, OU point there, make it 17-12. Saw the arc of that ball shift just a bit after the swing from Shelton. 27 kills now for Oklahoma. Stevenson, back set, Mason tips it, well played.
Really smart shot by Lexi Mason. She brings a different look as a lefty. As a blocker, you have to make the adjustment with your eyes, and that block Patterson late to close it to the pin.
Bush was in the state of Washington last year, so is Mason, as a high school senior. Towards the press row. Punched over. Henke chasing. Not going to get there.
That's one of the biggest differences we're seeing in this match is Oklahoma's ability on scramble plays like that, where you're out of system, you're just trying to keep this ball alive and get it over. They're still able to terminate balls. Great decision there by Shelton. She didn't really have any options as far as she could hit them.
All going right for Oklahoma right now, who other than a 3-1 loss to Tulsa this season, they've now won 13 of 15 sets on the campaign, about to make it perhaps 14 of 16. Service error, though, a rare miscue for the Sooners. Nicholson will come in for Florida State. Uemawa back as well. Hayden Whalen, freshman outside hitter, also making her debut. Nicholson in service. 3.0 pass. And another positive results, this time Patterson.
That 31 gap set is so difficult to defend. It doesn't matter if it's been Burgess or in that case, Kennedy Patterson. It's such a quick set. It's really tough to get a double block up against it.
Final season of eligibility for Patterson, who competed in 2 NCAA tournaments with Pepperdine. Strong serve. Tipped over. Camille Gibson has it covered. Confusion on who was going to set that. This is well out of play. Another OU point, getting closer to 25 here in set 2, up 20-14.
Bush just makes such great decisions. She's hitting 400 as an outside hitter. That is a big number.
Sooners hitting 481 as a team, up by 6.
At Burger King, you write the rules.
Popcorn night, so that's quite the incentive.
Who doesn't love popcorn? Maybe we can order some up to the booth here.
Yeah, I've yet to acquire some. I'll go down to the concession stand between sets. Here's Barnes. Oh, I thought she caught the line there. It's just out of play. So fun to watch her in service.
I'm still stunned that she just picked up this serve when she got to the campus in August.
How do you execute that serve that
It's tough. I mean, it's a very tough serve. High risk, high reward.
I don't believe she wasn't practicing that in the gym by herself and all summer long. They only picked that up. Florida State gets up for the block. They have to put some points together here quickly, but they've got a shot here in set 2.
Florida State has looked better both defensively and offensively, doing a nice job starting to get more block touches, and in that case, shutting down Camille Gibson.
Garnham goal, they only hit 0.59 set 1. They're at a 136 clip here in 2. Gibson with the tap. Diving sequence kept it alive, but then Oklahoma said enough of that.
Gibson, she's so fast on her feet, can jump out of the gym. And you've got 4 attackers for Oklahoma that all touch over 10 feet. That's pretty scary.
Aaron Mansfield said Camille Gibson is one of the best athletes I've ever coached. Made such a huge jump this past spring, can work on either side, dominant from the left and right. Loves the decision making. Now Gibson rising along the far side.
It just needs to redirect those hands, her and Burgess, back to the inner part of the court. Right idea there with the double block. But Gibson can be the X factor for the Sooners offense this year.
Anyone to help take a little bit of the load off Shelton, who proved she can handle it last year, but these are the kind of player development pathways that are going to allow Oklahoma to advance maybe a little further in the NCAA tournament. Gibson, they're feeding her to not take any touch. A little too strong there for Camille Gibson, just her 3rd attacking error. Still hitting over 300.
We might have a challenge, though. Gibson said, somebody touched that ball.
Looked straight at Coach Mansfield. Starting to plead her case there.
So waiting to get confirmation whether he told the official he wants to challenge or not. Doesn't look like it.
21-18 here in the second set after the timeout.
Oh no, it's a late challenge, AJ. Just saw that.
There it is.
There's a big debate there in the huddle.
So they will take a look at it. This is a critical sequence here in set 2. Let's take a look.
So if there is a touch, it would likely be
Kapua.
Yes.
Kapua, excuse me, the freshman.
Tough to tell from that angle. So even if a fingernail graces this volleyball, or if a good indicator is if a finger bends backwards.
That was a good angle. I didn't see
I didn't necessarily see a touch either from that angle. But I would tell you that Gibson plays and hits so high above the block. She has a great look from her perspective as an attacker.
Her best vantage point. I don't see anything there.
And it doesn't look like either. Sometimes when you touch the ball, the trajectory of it changes. So I did not see the trajectory and spin of that ball change.
Florida State trying to take advantage of these OU miscues. 4 of the last 5 points have come from OU errors.
Oh, this is a great look. Oh, no, they're right there, Matt. Maybe that 4th finger, ring finger.
During the timeout, Oklahoma challenged that there was a touch on the block. After review, the call is reversed. There is a touch on the Florida State block. Point goes to Oklahoma. They will retain their challenge.
That Hawkeye view hit it on its head, that ring finger.
Looks like the call was going to stand until we had that vantage point. And that's a big turn of events there for the Seminoles. Instead of 21-18, 22-17.
Camille Gibson 1-0 in challenges today.
Shelton will sub in for Wallace. Get another look at Amani Bush in service. Entered tonight leading the team in aces with 11.
She just does so many things well. Good blocker, leads the team in kills.
Said OU felt like home the second I visited. Difficult first pass from Henke, but rolled it over anyway. Made up for that. That'll work.
Henke has had some of those looks where it's an out-of-system ball, not a whole lot of options. She's gone to the off-speed, and it's been able to catch this Oklahoma defense sleeping a bit.
It's one of those, all right. Kind of make up for a bad pass, get your team a point. Knowles down 4.
Showing some life here late in the second.
Been a much more convincing second set from the Knowles. Oklahoma closing in on 25. Stevenson, back set. Mason tips it over. Gibson read it well. Shelton loading up. Look out.
That is such a tough angle to hit as an outside hitter. To cut this ball like Alexis Shelton does. Look at this athleticism, just cutting it inside of Henke.
11 kills now for Shelton. 91 clip. Stevenson to the middle. Capilla went into the nets, and OU is at set point.
I'm okay with that miss, though, by Capilla, because Florida State's trying to get their middles going. Capilla, a lot of raw potential.
Much better set from the Noles. Didn't encounter the OU block once. They find themselves down 6. Henke, side out.
Smart shot by Henke, aiming for the outside blocker's hands and Alexis Shelton.
15 kills against USC last match. She's at 6 here. Crowd getting into it. Henke serves. Shelton, awkward on the set. Stevenson goes to Filimawa. Deep shot into the corner. That's really well done by Florida State.
Florida State, and specifically Yane Henke, has gotten in a much better rhythm in this second set. Her off-speed looks have been on point, now up to 8 kills.
Still 4 set points. Barnes off the hands. Noles still going. Filimawa down the line. Finishes the points, 24-21.
And you'll notice that it's been the veteran players, the Filimawa, Henke, that have really strung together some points late in the second set for Florida State.
Another point or two. It gets real interesting here. Got that down to 3. Great first pass. Shelton on the run. Tried to play it middle. And that is off the right hand of Amani Bush. 3, now 4 consecutive points for Florida State. They forced the timeout.
This is the fight that head coach Chris Poole was talking about with his freshmen. They don't necessarily know better, but that can be a really good thing. Ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Just talking about when they were down at USF, they could have wilted on the road in a tough situation. He's proud of how they fought back to 5, despite falling in 5 in Tampa. Here's our Week 3 SEC football lineup. All begins Saturday at 12:45 Eastern with Auburn hosting South Alabama. Louisiana and 25th ranked Mizzou begin at 4 on SEC Network Plus. And you got Arch Manning, 7th ranked Texas, hosting UTEP in Austin at 4:15 on SEC Network. Alcorn State, Mississippi State begins at 6 on SEC Network Plus. Thrilling win and start for the Bulldogs last week. And finally on SEC Network, Vandy and 11th ranked South Carolina. Each game also available on the all-new ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Filimawa, it's been a bright spot here for the Seminoles today, 6 kills.
Filimawa's 6 kills, making good decisions, and she's been a pivotal part in getting Florida State back into this second set. That leadership that she brings. Keep in mind, she was playing libero a lot the last 2 seasons, so it's been an adjustment period for her entering the season. She did not have a spring with the indoor volleyball team because she plays beach volleyball. So she's also adjusting on the fly a little bit, but nice outing so far today.
Yeah, it was a necessity. They needed her to play. She was learning the rules of the position in real time, but now back to her more natural position. 24-22, set 2. A 4-0 run by Florida State. They need 2 more points. Diving serve. Out of system OU. Barnes out of play. 24-23. The Noles are showing some fight.
The difference in this run that Florida State has gone on, a 5-0 scoring run, is Florida State is serving much tougher. They have Oklahoma out of system.
What a run by Henke here. Can she get one more? Better first pass. They set to the side. Noles block is there. Back to Shelton. Off hands, igniting the crowd. Sooners take the set by 2.
I love the decision to go back to Alexis Shelton on that right side. There was a hole in the seam of that block, and she took full advantage. star player doing star things.
You go to your senior when the set is on the line. Shelton's been getting it done for Oklahoma for years. Finishes that off. 25-23, Seminoles down by 2 sets on the road.
Match of the championship. And Louisville has only lost 1 set this season. But their biggest test coming up tonight.
No doubt. Full night of volleyball still ahead. Oklahoma looking for the home sweep to start their Norman campaign. Barnes mishit that. Seminoles taking an early advantage here at set 3.
Barnes got a little bit too far underneath that volleyball.
It's the first lead for the Seminoles since it was 2-0 in set 1. Shelton's closing in on a season high in kills, has 12. It was 14 earlier this year. Burgess was a big factor in set 1. That deflected off the antenna, 1-1.
Really nothing that Henke could do there. She was so far outside of that antenna, really no way to get that ball over.
What do you think Florida State did well there at the end of the set that they can carry into set 3 here?
Florida State served well. They got Oklahoma out of system, made them much more one-dimensional, and the block started to come alive.
Oklahoma did not have a block in set 2 after 6.5 in the first. Down the line. Out of play, FSU 2-1.
A little bit of hitting errors early for this Oklahoma squad. You're the Sooners, you got to keep the gas pedal down.
Talked about the youth on this Seminole roster. Look, they knew it was going to be difficult with the departures of Audrey Koenig, Corey Lewis. Both were third-team All-Americans last year. Taylor Head was an All-American previously at Arkansas. It's part of the fun here for Chris Poole. This block gets up along the near side.
This is kind of similar to what we saw in the match with South Florida, where the block was non-existent for the Noles early on in the first 2 sets, and then all of a sudden reawakened in the last 3. And a great job, double block. They're just setting up against Barnes, shooting those hands over and taking that shot away.
Yamamoto, sinking serve. That'll get the job done. Largest lead in any set for Florida State tonight. Sunbelt Libero of the Year. 2023 at Louisiana. Burgess, all sorts of space, puts it away for the point. But back to Yamamoto. She thought her career was done. She had shoulder surgery this last off season. She realized after one JUCO year, she had an extra year.
Yeah,
Florida State took her.
The new rule, and so she couldn't practice with the team though because of that shoulder surgery until August.
So she's just getting back into a rhythm. Great serve receive. Florida State takes advantage through the middle.
Florida State looks like a completely different team now. The first ball contact has been much better. Middles have been activated. Nice job there by the freshman Nanu Kapia, who Coach Poole is comparing a little bit to Corey Lewis as a freshman, yes. And Corey Lewis now playing professionally for the Orlando Valkyries.
He played for a smaller club in the Dallas area. Wasn't recruited as heavily as you might expect. Club level didn't play on the national stage all the time. That was a big get for Florida State. As Oklahoma gets a point. It's 5-3.
Alexa Shilton does such a nice job on those scramble plays. Or actually, that's Camille Gibson. Just improvising, getting that ball over, finding the donut in the floor.
Set 3. Here's Harper Hall. Second setter in this Oklahoma system. Cross court, Henke off hands. Hall sets up Shelton, who taps it over. Henke rolls it. Frega was present. Crowd appreciated that sequence. Morris.
Ooh,
Mason, excuse me.
Frega doing work right now.
Shelton got it in system. Yamamoto had it covered. Longest rally of the night. Back row attack. Finishes it off. 5-4.
How about Deani Frega, the transfer from Fresno State? Look at this pancake. Her ability to keep that ball up. She single-handedly kept this rally alive for Oklahoma. And doing a nice job.
Stevenson sets Henke. Cross-court kill. Henke looks sharp there.
Henke has gotten in a much better rhythm than we saw in that first set. She's making great decisions with the volleyball. She's reading the block really well, and she's been extremely terminal in the last set and a half.
8 kills on 22 attempts for Henke now. Back in service where she just guided Florida State to a 5-0 run. Shelton going cross-court herself.
I love that decision there by Harper Hall, Oklahoma's setter, to completely reverse the flow. Your momentum is taking you to the left side of the court. Watch her fling this volleyball back over to Alexis Shelton, has a one-on-one blocking advantage.
Aaron Mansfield said our technical change with her was speeding her hands, changing her cadence a little bit as Oklahoma picks up another with Imani Bush there in the middle. Oklahoma, they want to play fast. There's a big responsibility on their setters, and changing that technique has been a big point of emphasis of all.
That's not easy, too, to make that technical change when you get to campus, but it's necessary with how fast this Oklahoma tempo plays. You can't be taking that ball for too long. But
Mansfield said he knows it can be uncomfortable, but he said it's not just about delivery, it's how our offense works together. It has to be a change. Hall's adjusting well. 7-5 here in the third. Gibson rolling across the top of the net. And back onto the OU side, 8-5.
Rear hitting error by Camille Gibson, just catching that tape. Oklahoma hitting in the negative for this set right now.
Change and feel here in this third set. Oh, Oklahoma gets within 2. What's been the most impressive aspect of how Florida State has started this third set?
Just the feistiness this young group is showing right now, fighting their way back late there in the second set and continuing that momentum here into the third.
Victoria David getting some time here for Florida State as well, the freshman from Brazil. Watches it sail out. Now in back row, service error. On Thompson there, there's a couple substitutions here for the Noles again. Also Nicholson into the rotation to serve now. Florida State hitting 125, third set. Barnes, off hands, nice save there by David. Limawa. Tipped over, diving dig to the middle, played right back towards the near side. Florida State's at 10.
Limawa is doing a really nice job of finding the fingertips of this Oklahoma block. When you're able to tool off the block, it opens up so much more court for you as an attacker.
Saw very little of that early in this match. Adjustments being made. Nicholson, each part of the top teams in the Big 12 last year. Had to go near side, but another attacking error for OU, having some struggles here offensively in the third set.
Oklahoma has more attacking errors in this third set than they've had the entire match so far.
Sensing that, they'll take a timeout. Back after this on SEC Network.
Florida State so far, complete player, deep toolbox a shot. She's making great decisions even against the triple block of Oklahoma and finding ways to will the Noles back into this match. Henke, great job bringing her veteran presence and infusing this freshman squad.
And some fight here in the third set. Henke, 8 kills on 22 attempts, although 5 errors by OU here in this set. To the last 3 points, the Noles have been errors. That looks much better. Imani Bush trying to get OU back here at set 3.
Imani Bush with some authority. That was a no-doubter. She was laying the hammer.
That is what we saw a lot of from Oklahoma first 2 sets. Bush has 8 kills, Gibson 8 as well, Shelton with 13. Noles go to Filimawa, tools the block. Noles up 5.
Block hadn't quite closed in time, hadn't sealed the net, trying to get those hands across low and turn that hand back into the court.
Been kind of Kind of eye-opening, those 6.5 blocks by OU to start the first set. Not one since.
Shocking, actually.
Yeah, very surprising.
But it also speaks to how much better Florida State is playing.
You got the sense that first set was not representative of even where Florida State is at now. Coach Toole said we got a long way to go. There's going to be a lot of development, but you still felt that first set was not representative. Set 2 much better, and that's continued.
You're probably going to see that, though, with the Noles early in the season. Slow starts to matches while these freshmen figure out how to make adjustments on the fly.
That's what happened in Tampa. They nearly figured it out. Free ball, OU. Burgess gets it done out of the middle like she has all night. Burgess 6 kills now, 4th on OU.
Actually, Delaney Ewing there with the solo stuff. Doing a nice job mirroring Burgess in the middle and sealing that net on the denial.
13-8. That's a confident swing from Ewing. Florida State with Sova along the far side. Johanna Sova, the sophomore from Estonia, first kill tonight.
I like Florida State move here to bring in Johanna Sova. We haven't seen her too much on the season, but brings a little bit different look. At 6'5", she's a harder attacker to defend because she has such a high contact point.
Only played in 1 set in their last match, 24 sets last season. I wonder if Sova will be more of a presence for the Noles moving forward. An awkward serve receive from Barnes there, but got it over. Back row attack. Whew. Look out for the Maua.
Love that big look. So it's considered a back row quick 2-step approach, and Fili Maua executing it to perfection. It gives Florida State another attack option in the back row.
This looks like a completely different team right now. Oklahoma a little on their heels. That's a good option to get going. Just find Shelton on the court.
Just go to your go-to player to get a side out. Alexis Shelton, quick ball to the pin, one-on-one block. Look at that hole in that block, had not closed. Shelton taking full advantage.
Barnes with that heavy topspin serve. Yamamoto had a good pass, again out of the back row. Just a bit wide from Fili Maua.
Florida State is doing a better job, though, of handling that Takoa Barnes jump topspin serve.
Chris Poole will take a timeout. Back-to-back points for OU. Got the deficit to 5 here. Seminoles hitting 250 in the 3rd set. Oklahoma just an 0.48 clip. Pulled it from 7 to 5. AJ Ricketts, Kelly Burke. ACC showdown at the net. It's figured to be one of the more intriguing matchups coming in. Because look what Florida State has done the last 15 to 20 years under Chris Poole. That is where Oklahoma wants to be. That is where they once were in that era from 06 to 14. Trying to get back to there. They showed signs that that could be possible last year. Another match here today to try to move forward.
Direct correlation, though, between the Noles' rising hit percentage and the blocks of Oklahoma. 6.5 blocks in that first set, 0 the last 2 sets. So that block needs to get going defensively for the Sooners in this one here in the 3rd.
Lindsey Gray-Walton got OU back to the tournament in 2019. That was a first-round exit. Again, difficulty maintaining that success. 2 years ago, a 5-11 record in Big 12 play. She resigned, so Mansfield came in after plenty of success at Loyola Marymount. Had a season a couple of years. They swept Duke in the NCAA tournament.
And going about building this program in a little bit different way. They've tapped in to Canada as a recruiting mechanism to be able to find some diamonds in the rough up there. 4 Canadians on this Sooner squad. Coach was telling us that they're considering putting a Canadian flag in this gym.
Monty Bush, one of the latest. They've got 4 Canadians on the roster. Down by 5 here. Maua giving Henke a chance. Free ball here for the Sooners.
Oklahoma has to capitalize on this free ball.
Shelton.
Whew, nice one-arm dig.
Sooners trying to make it 3 straight points. They get a free ball. Shelton. Don't give her that many chances. She'll find open floor.
Shelton has such a fast arm. She's a human highlight reel is what her nickname is on this Sooners squad. And you give her any sort of opening in this block, and way too much space for Alexis Shelton to operate with.
Season high 15 kills now. All-American caliber player. Barnes trying to keep this going. Fantastic pass. Set wasn't as strong. Shelton off the line. Shelton another kill. 3 straight for Oklahoma. Excuse me, 4.
It all starts, though, at the service line. Dakota Barnes, the freshman, on a 4-0 scoring run. This serve is such a weapon. High risk, high reward. Shelton finishing off the rally.
Again, the coaching staff tells her, we don't care if you miss your serve. We want you to be aggressive. A good pass off of it, though. Out of play for a Florida State point. They get her off the service line after a 4-0 spurt.
Nice job by Henke going off the fingertips of that block. I'm waiting, though, for the Sooners to roll out another player who can do that jump topspin serve. Yeah. Coach Mansfield, he kind of alluded like there's some other people on this team that have that ability.
Well, if they've taught Bush that, Barnes that in 1 month, they can see some more players that style down the road. Burgess saved. Henke will line one up. Henke, yup. Within the paint, 17-12 Knowles.
Henke is so accurate. When she is able to go over to zone 4, cut that shot, triple block is up, and she just cuts that angle into zone 4 to find where the defense is not able to get to.
4-4 kill there. Shelton rising high. Put as much power on it. Gets the point. Nope. Knowles advantage down to 4.
This is where, if you're Florida State, you can't panic with such a young team. You have to continue to seize on the momentum you have, play to win this set rather than play defensively.
Those are the growth moments for a young team. 9 freshmen, roster of 18. On the road the entire season so far. Henke. Back row tip. Saved at the line, off the antenna, though. Oklahoma to within 3.
Oklahoma just has Florida State scrambling right now. It started at the service line. It's allowed them to get back in this 3rd set.
It's one of the areas Chris Poole talked about before the match. Caused some frustration with service. Henke, it's the back corner. High IQ play, 18-14.
Henke has done a really nice job in real time of adjusting to the look she's getting when Oklahoma is sending the triple block at her. You don't see it very much as an attacker, but she's done a great job of going to off-speed looks.
Overpass, easily handled by Philly Maua. We saw a sequence earlier in the match. Florida State did not take advantage of the overpass. No problems right there.
And you have to be expecting that overpass when Henke is at the service line. She's one of the best servers on this Florida State team. When the Knowles went on a run in the second, she was back here at the service line.
I said before this match, Henke and Barnes, that'd be a fun service matchup. It has proven important today. Out in front of Shelton, nothing she could do there. Florida State closing in on a 3rd set win.
Watch Henke, too. She is mixing up the depths on this serve. She's being unpredictable. The last serve she short served it, kind of took this Oklahoma offense out of their rhythm.
7 service aces in a match earlier this year. Gibson tried to play the line unsuccessfully.
And tough angle for Gibson because her body was squared up to the sideline, so really tough to come back across your body with that shot.
State may not just win this 3rd set, make a little bit of a statement here. Service causing issues again. Free ball for Florida State. Tapped to the corner. Good idea by Mason. Too strong.
Those are the points you got to have if you're Florida State, trying to get their middles involved. You have to be able to take advantage of those free balls.
1 kill today for Mason. That would have been a big point. Oklahoma behind the action right now, though. Down 6. Late in the third set. Home opener in Norman. Hinkie serve receive. We'll play it from the back row. And off the tape, off the strings, 22-15.
I think he's just dialed back that swing a little bit. It's that off-speed look that's working really well against this triple block. They're expecting a big rip, especially from the back row. She's just taking a little bit off of it.
Closing in on her 4th straight 15-plus kill match. Again, trying to go down the line. This time it's Bush. Now to play, 23-15.
10 attackers in this set for Oklahoma.
Noles hitting .333 in the set. Oklahoma at .065. David serve, received in the corner. Gibson. Florida State's block is there. 3rd block of the set. Set points, Noles.
Florida State's block has really picked it up. Already 2 blocks in this 3rd set. That's been a huge difference defensively from what we saw in the 1st set.
Victoria David gonna put this 3rd set away. There's another Florida State block. What a fitting finish to set 3. Defense setting the tone. Getting their outside hitters involved from the back row as well, and it's a 25-15 set 3 win for Florida State. Staying here in Norman after this. Some shifts here in set 3. Florida State getting it done offensively after all sorts of struggles first 2 sets. AJ Ricketts, Kelly Burke, what'd you think of that set 3?
Nice response from the Noles, and it all started with their block, which is now up to 6 blocks in this match. Keep in mind, Florida State had 0 blocks in the 1st set, so doing a much better job reading the hitters of Oklahoma, also siding out at a much better percentage. The serve was tough for Florida State, and Oklahoma in that 3rd set only sided out at 40%.
Seminoles hit .333 in the 3rd set. FSU never trailed in that set, and they also, with an exclamation point on the final sequences of that, scored 8 of the last 10 points in this set, entering this with momentum here at the McCaslin Fieldhouse. Set 4 underway. Showdown at the nets. ACC-SEC matchup. Out of the gates, Gibson can get the kill. Henke now rolling it. That went off hands, and another strong start to the set for Florida State.
That's one of the biggest adjustments Florida State's outsides have made, is they're swinging high off the fingertips of this Oklahoma block.
Sooners a little knocked back here. Still up 2 sets to 1, however. Serve receive's going to have to be better here, set 4. That's one of the steps for OU. Attacking from the middle. Punched at the net, recycled for OU. Gibson, a little behind her. Oh, some open space. Oklahoma went for the block, but instead a quick set and a point.
Love that decision there by Lily Nicholson, experienced setter coming in from TCU, and she runs her middles, the freshman Nanu Kapia, in transition. Great decision.
Good vibes continuing here for Florida State. Early part of set 4. Vega went to Gibson, doesn't work out. It's a big momentum play there with another block. Florida State now out blocking Oklahoma.
The decision to bring in Johanna Silva on that right side block has been huge. Look at the reach she has at 6'5". The press she's getting over the net, completely taking away Camille Gibson.
This match has been flipped on its heels. And Oklahoma getting a side out, getting on the board here to start set 4.
Really nice decision there by Imani Bush, going off the outside blocker's outer hand. And all of a sudden, it's Oklahoma side out, thanks to it.
Bush now in double figures in the kills department with 10. 2 players in double figures on each side. And now the line. Shelton. Back and forth here. Shelton contorting her body midair. Well out of play, though. 4-1 Florida State.
really tough angle for Shelton to try and hit, to be able to try and bring that ball back down the line, especially when she's literally facing the sideline.
Florida State looks like a confident bunch right now. They're bringing plenty of energy on the bench. Oklahoma rattled here. Burgess trying to get him going. Henke again finding the open areas. Florida State continuing to gather momentum.
Florida State's winning the transition battle right now. A great first ball contact initially by Oklahoma, but the defense of Florida State coming through in a big way right now.
And they're going out of play. Frege wanted to be sure. Shelton, the better opportunities she's had in this set, still won't work out there. Oklahoma's going to talk this over. How about the start to set 4 for Florida State? They are right back in this match on the road.
Challenge with the triple block that they bring defensively, but Jana Henke has figured it out. Set 1, she was hitting in the negative, but now she's been able to go to off-speed looks. She's going off fingertips, and she's doing a great job of making adjustments against this triple block that normally can be extremely disruptive.
For those 3 straight zeros for Oklahoma there. They were dominant from the start of this match. Narrative has shifted. Shelton is unable to be as effective as she was earlier in the match. Florida State's block has been prevalent. Shelton will do it again. Gibson this time. Florida State's a wall. Free ball. Gonna take advantage of it. Shelton lines one up. Seminoles there.
Great up.
They'll take getting it over off a Shelton rip. Burgess.
Wow.
How about this here? Oklahoma sets Shelton.
One of the better defensive rallies we've seen.
High-level volleyball here. Henke to the net, rolling it. Point Seminoles. Wow.
Florida State looks like a completely different team late in this match, and a lot of that is because they are being so scrappy on the defensive end. There's so many balls in that rally that they were able to keep up.
Started figuring things out late in that second set. Weren't validated with the win. Lost it by 2 points. But they have been the better team since late in that second set, and now the service ace. 8-1.
Service game has been huge for Florida State. The second, third, and now fourth set. Also, how about this? Florida State now out-blocking Oklahoma.
It was 6.5 to nothing after set 1.
Sooners have to get back to their block.
Gibson, that's well out of play, going for cross-court angle. And this is eye-opening right now.
Too many attackers right now for the pin hitters of Oklahoma. And it hasn't just been one player. We've seen it from Shelton. We've seen it from Gibson. We've seen it from Bush at times.
Negative 158 for OU right now, set 4.
And the first ball contact has not been good.
The timeout did not shift any of this momentum here. Oklahoma, 10-1.
Florida State continues to target Imani Bush on serve receive, and right now it's working.
They did that first few points of set 1. This time Frege's there. Shelton, nope.
It'll be a lift.
And this is getting out of hands for Aaron Mansfield. He's going to call a second timeout here. Knowles up by 10.
This is the right call here. Just too long a contact with that volleyball.
I mean, it's an 8-0 run for Florida State. If you're Aaron Mansfield, what on earth could you be discussing in that timeout right here?
I'm actually interested to see if he makes any sort of lineup change here to try and reinvigorate this Oklahoma offense. But defensively, you have to get back to your bread and butter, which is blocking. Oklahoma led the SEC in blocks last year, and they were blocking at a huge number in that first set. They have to make the adjustment now to the off-speed looks that some of these Florida State hitters are giving them, like Fili Maua and like Henke.
just 5 errors in set 1 for Oklahoma. They've had 28 since that first set. Florida State has been getting it done defensively since a slow start, and it's led to an 11-1 lead.
The defense is what's gotten Florida State back into this match. 0 blocks in the first set, 7 blocks now, out-blocking the Sooners. Again, keep in mind, 9 freshmen on this Florida State squad, but they're reading Oklahoma hitters extremely well and doing a great job blocking out-of-system balls.
When you're physical at the net, when you put a stop to the effectiveness of the outside hitters with the middle blockers, with the talent like OU has, that will recharge your team quickly. Florida State has propelled themselves right back into the match. At the moment, it feels like the set is already over.
Feels like we could go 5.
Yeah. We are on a collision course with 5. Stevenson serves. OU hasn't scored since it was 3-0 until that service error.
I look for Oklahoma to go to some of their experienced attackers, like an Alexis Shelton. Try and get Kelly Jo Burgess in the middle re-involved. Only 2 kills in that last set because Oklahoma's been out of system so much.
Quieter last few minutes from Burgess. Thompson was serving. Henke left hand. Barnes, not that time.
Barnes just has not been able to get in a rhythm as an attacker today. She's been pretty high error. You're going to have some learning curves as a freshman. She's been really good at the service line, but 7 attack errors in this match.
-238, the hitting percentage now for OU set 4. Barnes gets another crack at it. Back corner, wow. Florida State 13-2, Philly Maua finding the open area.
Philly Maua once again going off the high hands of this block. Shelton in the middle. When you go off high hands, it opens up so much court as an attacker, and as a defender, you're not really sure exactly how that ball's going to come off the block.
Maua and Henke have been fabulous. Those kind of shots. Barnes, no chance there. Well out of play, 14-2 now. Florida State just swept an SEC team. Float serve nearly worked wonders there. He digs. Stevenson's going to go to the middle. Tapped over, short tip. Point Florida State. Capilla that time.
Florida State has been running their middles way more than we've seen from Oklahoma, who was going to their middles a lot in that first set. But the Sooners have been out of system, so they haven't been able to activate their middles. Florida State has been really good in transition and getting Capilla involved.
The entire set has been out of system for OU. Florida State just adding fuel to their fire right now. 16-2, another service ace. 4 straight points. Henke's having fun.
Henke, once again, she's at the service line on this run.
Playing with joy on the road. Another float serve, another ace. This is incredible, right? This is the set of the season right now for the Seminoles.
She's short serving Oklahoma. The Sooners have to make that adjustment. Watch this ball just dive like a dart.
About taking control of this match. Again, tough serve receive. Oklahoma is desperate for anything positive right now. It makes it 17-3. They'll put some subs on here.
And you go to an Alexis Shelton in that situation where you're trying to find any sort of life offensively.
We're sitting 500 in the set. Stevenson, near side, off the antenna, and back-to-back points for the Sooners.
You're Oklahoma, you're staring down a pretty large deficit, but you just have to take it point by point here.
Huge deficit to work against. We'll keep going. Overpass. Tripping over each other, trying to save it. Stevenson, dump shot, wow. Nellie Stevenson makes it 18-4.
Sneaky move by Nellie Stevenson. First time today we have seen her go to the dump, but perfectly timed and placed.
With all these young players, take another look here, Kelly.
Nice job by Stevenson. Sees the opening in the middle of the floor, completely fakes out that Oklahoma block.
With all these young players, we're wondering if there's different expectations for Chris Poole. You asked him earlier today, you said, what does a successful season look like for you as Oklahoma's block works there? He said, look, I'm so used to going to the tournament. I still have to say the NCAA tournament's the expectation. I have to, but I know the ACC's really good. I know my players are like sponges. They're absorbing everything. We got to win some of these early matches, though. We can't just get in a rhythm late in the ACC season. He knows the importance of this, but he's not taking back his expectations of this team.
I actually thought it was really interesting. He told us he was more stressed out last year with the pressure on last year's team than he is with this year, because you just don't know what you're going to get with freshmen.
That's a great point. I don't want to say it felt like he was re-energized, but it certainly felt like he was enjoying the challenge of this year's team. Even if 9 freshmen will cause more than 9 gray hairs.
Right? Well, here's a triple block, doing a much better job adjusting to this roll shot from Philly Maua.
Oklahoma gives the point right back, 19-6. The block has not been a factor last half hour, last 2 sets.
Keep in mind, a lot of these freshmen for Florida State have not been in this situation, haven't been in this environment, playing this caliber of a team yet, so everything's new. They don't know better.
3-1, again, the only loss at USF. The fight they showed in that match is what Toole was most impressed with. They're showing it again on the road. Oklahoma trying to salvage something positive from this 4th set, which feels well out of hand.
I like the move there to find Imani Bush. She's been pretty low air in this match, just 3 attacking errors. Nice, steady little tip shot over.
She's still hitting 381. Rotation violation on the nose.
That is a big break for Oklahoma off of that service error. But this is what Coach Chris Poole was talking about. We're going to have, you know, he's in disbelief a little bit still that you have rotation violations. But sometimes when you have 9 freshmen, you make bonehead mistakes like that.
Yeah, he'll call a timeout after that sequence, just to settle everybody down. Still more than a formidable advantage here, set 4. Here's another look. That kind of, again, sums everything up. Half the roster, freshmen. Plenty of talent there. They've got some veterans to guide the way, steer the ship. This is more than capable of being a tournament team. They're going to go through some lumps early. They're hoping today won't be one of them.
They're hoping today is a turning point for this team in this young season. But 9 freshmen, there's a lot of teaching still going on in real time, and that includes matches, not just practice.
Look, it's been a fine season thus far. They've won every single set heading into this match, other than the South Florida game in Tampa. They play UIC, North Florida, and then South Carolina. They win over the Gamecocks. Anytime you sweep any SEC team, you can take something.
The competition's going to continue to ramp up, though, as they get into ACC play. There's really no easy outs in the ACC.
Got Auburn coming up next in a few days. They'll start their ACC slate on the road. 5 consecutive games on the road to start ACC play.
Who's your pick in that Louisville, Texas match?
That's so tough. I like what Louisville's done to start the season. It looks real good in that opening weekend, but in Texas, they just reload.
Every year, right? How about Torrey Stafford?
Fantastic match the other day. Maua, 2 Oklahoma players there. But now that time, nobody's going to defend that, 20-8.
Really smart shot by Philly Maua, just finding the cross-court angle, finding the hands of Oklahoma's block.
Texas lost in the tournament last year. Great, that's just the 2nd time in the last 19 seasons they failed to get beyond the Sweet 16. Got a couple championships before that, though, to make it sting less. 21-8 now.
Missed hit by Gibson off the top of the tape. She just hasn't really been able to find her rhythm since that first set.
Just feels mathematical at this point in set 4. Seminole block again. 8th block of the match.
That's big. Delaney Ewing stuffing Kennedy Patterson in the middle, 6'5", and turning her back. What a nice job teaming up with Hinkie.
Got Hinkie right there in the action too. It's been fabulous in service from the outside. Gibson rolling it. Hinkie no problem. Back row attack, Philly Maua. Dug by Wallace. Gibson again into the corner. Net violation, though, on Oklahoma.
Just some really uncharacteristic errors right now by Camille Gibson, who could be considered the X factor on this Sooner squad. Great decision, but makes contact. Her hand does with the top of the tape.
Mansfield feels she could have a breakout year this season. She's looking to find her groove. Henke tools the block. Florida State set point at 24-8. Who could have envisioned that after 2 sets today?
Not me. Not the way the first set started. I'll readily admit that.
What a shift.
Nice fight by the Seminoles.
This is turning into an epic match here. About to go 5, and we will, as Bush is out of play. Florida State couldn't do anything right the first 2 sets. Kelly Burkett's a completely different team since then.
5 sets, here we come. Florida State with a big lead here to close out the 4th, 25-8.
Fantastic top 5 matchup in store, but we've got a 5th set to play here. First to 15, win by 2. Oklahoma trying to reset after 2 sets where nothing went right, to be quite frank, but he can reset here 0-0 first to 15.
I want to see some more life out of Oklahoma in this 5th set. They've looked a little bit flat the last 2.
A little listless.
Yes.
It's hard not to be when you're down 10 to 15 points at home, but it's 0-0 here. Here we go. Crowd on their feet. Florida State's block goes to the back row, and that's in. They tried to target Bush out of the gates. Seminoles defense gets it done again.
Blocking may end up being a strength for Florida State this season. Great job. That block had not closed, but a nice job there by Delaney Ewing getting a piece of that volleyball to turn it back.
9 blocks now for the Seminoles. Didn't have any in the first set. Oklahoma responds. Burgess from the middle.
If I'm the Sooners, I want more of Kelly Jo Burgess. Set her as early and often as you can in this 5th set.
She was unstoppable in set 1. That looks like the early version of OU today. Cross-court set. Played with touch by Hinkie. Barnes. Recycled to OU. They'll go cross-court. Shelton couldn't put it away. Hinkie once more. Good rally here. Shelton again off hands. Florida State defense, prolific. Dig by Bush. Barnes off balance. Sequence over 2-1 Knowles.
That block just camping out on that right side to Mira Takoa Barnes, who has really struggled offensively.
Oklahoma cannot find the seam in this Florida State block, even on resets. Knowles are getting OU out of system, causing issues in service. That one out of play, though. Yamamoto a mistake. And that'll send Barnes to the service line. What can Oklahoma do here?
And look for Imani Bush to potentially be an option on that back row attack.
Freshman takes a moment. Fantastic serve, better serve receive. Oklahoma at the nets.
Takoa Barnes' jump top spin serve is so disruptive to this Florida State serve receive. The speed that it comes in at, the quick reaction time you have to make, it allows the block for the Sooners to get set up in plenty of time.
Barnes to Hinkie. Overpass, free ball. Shelton. Oklahoma 4-2. Shelton, 19th kill of the match.
What a weapon, though. Dakota Burns, she's been struggling as an attacker, but she continues to get it done at the service line for the Sooners. And all of a sudden, Oklahoma has a 2-point lead.
A much better start for Oklahoma here, set 5.
It's a great job. Alexis Shelton finishing off this ball into the inside blocker's hands. Going right off of him. Big hole in that block. And Oklahoma taking full advantage.
3 consecutive points here for the Sooners. Florida State calling timeout. What do you think the discussion with Coach Poole is here on the Seminoles sideline?
Well, I'm interested to see if Florida State decides to pull another person back into serve receive to help with this serve.
And serve receive was the huge issue for Oklahoma in set 4. Ace after ace for the Seminoles, who have 7 here in this match. Let's look at some of the defensive numbers. Again, Oklahoma finding some late success in the block in the 4th set when things were well out of reach. 4-2 lead here in set 5 in the Caslin Fieldhouse. A.J. Ricketts, Kelly Burke, 2 programs with postseason expectations. Oklahoma with their first NCAA tournament win in 12 years last year. They want to keep the good times going. Florida State's standard is NCAA tournaments, year in, year out, no matter what the roster may be. This is one of the youngest rosters Chris Poole has had his entire career, but he's having fun with this. And seen another comeback from his squad, down 2-0. Second time this year. Can they pull out the win here this time, though? Barnes, too long. That'll take her out of service.
I like that time out as well because you just froze Dakota Barnes at the service line.
Chris Poole knows what he's doing.
Maybe just a little bit. The active winningest coach in Division I.
3 straight points. Freshman feeling good. I'm gonna make her wait a little bit.
I just loved Chris Poole's stories. He's coached for so long.
Yeah.
Just everything he's seen in the game changed.
He was a PE teacher at Arkansas Tech to start his professional career. He's come a long way since then. Alexis Shelton, 5-3.
Alexis Shelton has refound her offense in this 5th set. That's what star players do. She's making great decisions. Florida State has to do a better job of putting up a double block against her.
These 2 or 3 point deficits feel a lot larger when you're only playing to 15. Henke on serve receive. Back row attack. What a dig. What a pass. Jousted at the net. Reset for Oklahoma. Shelton lining it up. 21 kills for the Star Sooner.
Alexis Shelton is demanding that volleyball right now. When you have a hot hitter, you just keep feeding them.
This is Harper Hall. Float serve, just long. Tough moment for that. Gives Florida State a point when they were struggling here. Back to 6-4, and now one of Florida State's top options.
We're going to have
service.
a challenge, I believe.
Now, whether that's hit the line? I thought live it looked long.
That the ball was in.
Challenging that the ball was in or out. Look, use or lose your challenge. We're in the 5th set,
point,
so
yes.
you get an extra challenge when you go into the 5th set, so you can't take them with you.
Going into that point, Alexis Shelton had picked up the last 3 points for OU, all on kills. Picking up her play when it counts the most here. 288 today, 21 kills.
After review, the call is confirmed. The ball is out. Oklahoma will lose a challenge.
A little closer than it looks live, still out of play.
I don't mind, though, using the challenge there because, again, you're going to lose it otherwise.
What a battle this has turned into.
Now, keep in mind, look at who is at the service line for Florida State. Yanni Hinkie. This has been a big strength for Florida State when she's at the service line.
And on a huge run in the third and fourth set with her at that spot. Shelton denied at the net. She had scored 3 of the last 4 points. Florida State up to task there.
Way better adjustment by the Knowles block as Kapia teaming up on the outside with Filimawa, timing that block up perfectly.
11 blocks now for the Knowles, down by just 1. Float serve to Shelton. Hall going to her senior. 4 of the last 6 for OU, coming from Alexis Shelton. She'll get a breather. Whitney Wallace subs in. Another look.
The serve going right at Shelton. She handles the first ball contact well. Setter goes right back to her.
It's Oklahoma looking much more formidable here in set 5. Shelton's offense is back. Stevenson sets Filimawa. It's too strong for Whitney Wallace to handle. 1-point match.
We haven't seen Filimawa very much today take big, aggressive rips like that. It's been a lot of crafty off-speed looks, but nice job coming with some heat.
13 kills. Filimawa's hitting .212. Cross-court set, tapped over. Stevenson is there. And Oklahoma came with 2, taking away the tip. Mason thought she was going to get that over. OU said not so fast.
A really nice job, too, by Bush and Kennedy Patterson timing up this block. It was an off-speed look and able to put it home.
3 blocks for Bush today. OU leads 8-6 as they switch sides.
This is where the experience of Oklahoma comes in. Even though you have 4 transfers, still very much a veteran team. And you're facing a team that has 9 freshmen who has played really, really well the last 3 sets. But now if you're Florida State, getting here in the 5th set is not good enough. You have to figure out a way that you can win it.
The Seminoles are growing up before our eyes here in the non-conference part of play.
But keep in mind, Florida State went 5 sets with South Florida.
They were up 10-7 in set 5. Almost engineered a reverse sweep. Trying to do that here. Filimawa, 8-7. Gets the Seminole bench going once more. Number of substitutions here for the Knowles.
Florida State speeding up this offense a little bit, beating the double block of Oklahoma, but nice job by Filimawa just cutting that ball inside cross court.
Haven't seen the triple here from OU in the 5th. Here's Nicholson, the junior setter. Into the nets. Ill-timed service error, 9-7. Mega and Burgess re-enter for OU. Mega, the freshman, gets it over. Side out, Florida State back within 1. They will not go away.
Like we've seen Oklahoma go to Alexis Shelton a lot in this 5th set, Florida State is doing the same with Filimawa, and she's delivering.
Find who your go-to players are in moments, 5th set situations like this. Filimawa's ready for the task. Burgess couldn't get it over the tape. Florida State is tied at 9.
Filimawa, this is a new role for her, being the go-to player late in matches.
He was having to fill in at libero at points the last few years. Total team player now is shining in the attack. 9-9. Burgess tapped over by Hinkie. Not that time though. Reset to Burgess, and the results are positive. 10-9.
Oklahoma hasn't been able to activate their middles much in the last 2 sets, but when Kelly Jo Burgess, when the first ball contact is good and she's available, it has been an outstanding option.
8 kills on 19 attempts, sitting 316, just 2 attacking errors for Burgess. Henke, cross court, you bet, 10-10.
And that sharp cross look is what is working right now for Florida State. We've seen Filamaua have success with it, and Hankey has this look down to perfection. Triple block, could not get over in time.
Partner, how fun is this? 10-10, set 5. Knowles going for the reverse sweep. OU home opener.
Could have scripted it better.
What a showdown. Shelton. Oh, got some height on that. They tipped it over.
Alexis Shelton just hanging in the air. You talk about how high she can get, how well she can read the block. She is making so many great decisions in the fifth set.
Climbing the ladder, 11-10. Barnes gets another opportunity in service. Yamamoto there. Henke out of play. Point Knowles, 11-11.
Really good first ball contact by Yamamoto, allowing Florida State to be in system.
Stevenson will serve. Montana State transfer. Veteran on this team. Redshirt senior. Pressure moment. Glides it over the net. Burgess again. Who else from the middle?
Joe Burgess coming through big in this fifth set. So tough to defend on that gap set. She is so efficient. She's always making herself available, and she's been such a weapon for the Sooners offense.
That's worked almost every time here in this fifth set. They found her in system. It's working. Back to a 1-point advantage. Stevenson goes to Henke. Blocked back to Filamaua. Dump shot. Shelton over 2. Out of play, did not take a touch. 12-all.
They didn't quite read that exactly right. Alexis Shelton there was trying to find where the hole in the defense was, but covered well by Nellie Stevenson.
Even if that was in play, Florida State was there. Henke. No problem on serve receive. They target Shelton. Stevenson will go far side. Oh, back row attack. Off the hands of Nellie Stevenson. OU's 2 points away.
Love that decision by Oklahoma. Harper Hall to go to the back row attack. We have not seen it very much from the Sooners in this match, but a great decision. Imani Bush terminating in a big way.
OU's gone on spurts from the middle like we see here in this fifth set from Burgess. Obviously the first 2 sets, the pin placement was fantastic. But yeah, that back row attack, that hasn't really been a consistent frame of mind for OU. They get it done there.
By keeping Florida State guessing here in this fifth set, we've seen more of the middles. We've seen the back row attack, which has really been non-existent these last few sets.
Kelly, for as quiet as Alexis Shelton was in the last 2 sets, leaders and winners arrive when it matters most, and Shelton is here in the fifth.
This is why Alexis Shelton is an ABCA preseason Player of the Year watch list candidate, because she makes great decisions. She's a gamer. She wants that ball in big moments of the match.
13-12. Florida State using their final timeout here. Chris Poole's squad has shown some moxie. Yet again, down 2 sets, they have refused to quit.
And this has been a great rotation for Florida State with Henke at the service line.
Look at Alexis Shelton's numbers today. Season high 23 kills. Henke has a season high as well on the other side for the Knowles with 18. Whitney Wallace will serve for the Sooners.
So this is the one rotation where Oklahoma does not have Alexis Shelton on the court.
Wallace to Henke, not a great pass. Match points, OU.
And Whitney Wallace in because she's got a great serve.
Wallace serves, match point. Float serve, out of play. Whoa, 14-13.
Gotta keep it interesting. This is feeling a lot, kind of like the Boston College Arkansas match from last night that went 5.
That was the only one of the first day that went 5. Oklahoma will take a timeout here.
I like this decision by Oklahoma, though. You're trying to freeze the server of Florida State. Make them think about it.
Saw that work from the opposite side not that long ago. Chris Poole calling a timeout, and Barnes went straight into the net right after. What a match this has been. OU went up 2 sets to nothing with 25-16 and 25-23 set wins in the first 2. But Florida State figured some things out at the end of set 2, a dominating sequence in 3 and 4, 25-15 and 25-8. But it's been even here. This is what we expected all throughout the match.
Florida State's actually out-hitting and out-blocking Oklahoma in this 5th set. But Alexis Shelton has put Oklahoma on her back in this 5th set. And the ability, too, of the Sooners to be in system more and to get Kelly Jo Burgess activated in the middle has been the difference.
That was the factor early in this set when Shelton had 4 of 6 points for Oklahoma. Gave her squad a lot of energy. 2 3-point advantage. Florida State has not let Oklahoma get distance throughout the set, and now 1 point from tying it. This is turning into one of the matches of this entire ACC-SEC challenge. What a finish. David serves. OU from the line, off hands. Stevenson high to Henke. Bump set. Maua, long, and the Sooners survive the Seminoles.
Tremendous job by Oklahoma of fighting their way back in the 5th set, regrouping their offense, and Alexis Shelton, the Sooner star, leading the way, leading Oklahoma back to victory.
It did not come without plenty of adversity, maybe some self-reflection after that 4th set, which was 25-8. That is difficult for any team to have to move forward from in a matter of minutes, but this OU squad showed their veteran presence in that 5th set.
Short-term memory, you have an experienced team, you know what it takes to win, having won your first NCAA tournament game since 2013 and looking to build on it. Oklahoma might surprise some people in the SEC.
This ACC-SEC showdown at the net has been fabulous over the last 24+ hours. 8-5 at this point. ACC needs just one more win to clinch. About to get a terrific showdown coming up over on ESPN.